Hola, hola, hola. How is everybody doing? If you missed my last video, I just want to say Happy New Year. Still got the New Year vibe. Hey. Hey, whip baby. Woo! 2020 gonna be fuego, baby. I hope you're dancing at home with me. This is my new music. It's called E Nanny Link Shuffle. My nephew made a couple of beats for me, so E Nanny Link can have its own music, so I don't have to worry about using music from anybody else anymore. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. Yes. Let's see if I can pause that. There we go. Ritmo. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. I can't see comments. I'm unable to see who can see me. Let's see if I can see from my cell phone what's going on. I'm sure you can see me, hear me. Before I get started, let's just check some things out. Okay, looks like there's one person that's viewing. Hola, I see one person viewing. How are you? Thank you for joining. If you can hear and see me well, if you could just give me like a thumbs up or some hearts or something like that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, maybe, hopefully everything is well. All right. This is officially the first Parenting Live in 2020, so I'm so excited to be here. I miss everybody. I had a wonderful time. As I said in my last video, I had an opportunity to visit family, to hang out, relax, and just be laid back for the holidays, which was so necessary for me. So yeah, that was great. So I wanted to hop on real quick because I had a question that I was posing out there. I want to know, for all my parents out there, who is your biggest cheerleader? Who's like your biggest supporter when it comes to your parenting journey? Who's the first person that comes to your mind when you think about your parenting journey? Hola, Mercedes. Hopefully you can hear and see me. So I put the question out there, who is your biggest supportive person or another family or group that you are a part of that supports you on your parenting journey? Oh, thank you, Mercedes. Mercedes is my niece from Colorado. So she said that her mother and I were their biggest supporter for her parenting journey. She has my great niece, Isabella, that appeared on here 1 week before, about maybe a month and a half ago. But anyway, yes, thank you, Mercedes. I appreciate that. For me, and I guess before we get into this topic, I need to introduce myself. So my name is Shauna Hibbets, and I am the creator of E Nanny Link, which is an online platform, everything childcare, comprehensive tools for families. And my main goal and my main mission is to empower the entire family holistically. That means the parent and the child, and all together we venture on this journey together where we empower each other. So yeah, so I'm a mom, and I'm also an early childhood specialist of over 25 plus years. And in that time, I have cared for over 10,000 children. I'm also bilingual, so yo hablo español también, y me gusta bailar español también. So yeah, so those are some things about myself. Thank you for whoever's watching. Thank you for jumping on. So I posed a question, who is your number one supporter? Who is your biggest cheerleader? Who pushes you to be the best parent you can be on your parenting journey. So yeah, if you like to drop a comment down there, let me know who that is, or if you just want to think about who that person is. So for me, when I was coming up, we had it was the day and age where you kind of had a lot of like you had your grandparents involved, you had your great grandparents involved, you had great aunts, you had great uncles, you had aunties, uncles, cousins. Like you had a slew of people around that kind of helped you along the lines when you were parenting and doing different things in life. But I didn't really have a very intimate circle, if you will, parenting circle that I could really like bounce off of until I got a little bit like upper in my 20s. And well, we were friends before that. But I ended up having a really nice circle, a really good circle. We're a circle to this day. Our children are grown up and they're out of the house now. But coming up, we relied on one another with our parenting challenges, our parenting woes, our ups, our downs, our ins, our outs. We were able to communicate with one another how we felt about what we were going through as parents, right? And all the same struggles that parents deal with, like wanting the best for your child every day, making sure that your energy is up, you're not pouring from an empty cup, making sure that you're giving your child the full, development, spectrum of what they need to learn for physical, emotional, intellectually. All of these things that go in your head when you're parenting like 24/7, you're always concerned about, am I giving enough of myself? Does my child have what they need? What more can I give them? What else can I do? I know that was one of my deals was, oh man, like I could tell you there was a lot of sleepless nights being concerned about my son and being a parent and trying to figure it all out. And so I was so happy that I did have a very tight friendship that developed into sisterhood when we got older. So we were able to bounce ideas off on each other on those types of topics. And now I know today it's a little bit different. We have Hola Sybil, thank you for joining. Talking about your biggest supporter for your parenting journey. Who would that be, or who's your biggest cheerleader? And so for me, I was just talking about how I had grandparents and great grandparents and great aunts, and then I ended up having a circle of friends that turned into sisterhood later on. But today we're so busy, running. Parents are running every day, taking their kids to school, making sure they have what they need, or if they work at home, you're trying to make sure they have everything they need. You're running around so much that at times you feel like you don't have enough energy, that your days go by so quickly. All you do is wake up and go to sleep, make sure your children are bathed, make sure they're fed, make sure they're at their classes, make sure they're doing all of this stuff. And sometimes we lose ourselves in the process, right? We lose ourselves as parents. And it happens at different parts of your parenting journey, right? So when they're younger, I know for me, I felt really, 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 really lost when I had a baby and a toddler. Like I don't even remember looking in the mirror. That's how lost I that's how lost I used to feel, and it wasn't until like he got to kindergarten where I felt like I had a grip on it. It was like, okay, I could breathe. Oh, I can look in the mirror right now, or things of that nature. But it's nothing like being able to have somebody that you could talk to, bounce some ideas off. I always say that parents need to really try to get to a point where you could try to develop your me time some kind of way while you're running, because it's a very exhausting job. It's very rewarding, but it's very exhausting at the same time. And you want to make sure, again, that your cup is filled. So, what are some of the things that you do? What are you doing to make sure that you're able to keep up with your children's schedule, keep up with your own schedule? Or let's just talk about me. Like me time, like how are you getting your me time in? If you have a significant other, you're married, how are you spending time together? How does that look for you in your life right now? I know we just turned into a new year, 2020, and I know that we have resolutions, we have goals, we have mantras. There's all types of things out there that we're trying to do personally for ourselves. And I'm just hoping that some of those for parents is to give yourself some more me time and to give yourself some space to think and process and just be you and just, all around try to place yourself in a better space, if you will, for 2020, because the better you are as a parent filling up your cup, excuse me. I got itchy throat. 1 second. That's weird. Sorry about that. Wow. The better you're going to be for your family, right? The better you're going to be for your family. So 1 second. Oh my goodness. I need some me time right now. Woosah. Okay, I'm good. So yeah, the more we and my friend that's on board here, Sybil, she speaks about this a lot. She's her brand is Mamas and Coffee, and we did a live together at the end of 2019, and we have some more plans and ideas that we plan on doing in the upcoming year. But she speaks a lot about this. I speak a lot about this. It is vital and so important that parents figure out a way to get their me time. So how do you do that when A, maybe your budget is limited, B, maybe you're time constrained, you don't have the time to give yourself that me time, or you feel like you don't have a team or anybody to help, support you, because everybody doesn't have support when they're on their parenting journey. They don't, they don't. It is a really great thing if you find a great circle, a great friend, or just a great group of people that is on the similar journey as you, like-minded and feel the same way you do and going through what you're going through, and somebody you could just dialogue with. Like with Mamas and Coffee brand, it's all about coming together and, enjoying a cup of coffee and talking about these things, right? And so there's so many different ways. If you could meet somebody out for coffee, or if you can call them on video chat if possible, you got a moment, I have those inspiration posts that I have that come out every week. And the last one talked about, taking some moment and breathing, and taking time to reflect and things of that nature. And it's something that honestly that we really should be doing every day. And I realized that with so many busyness and running lives, and I remember when I was running like crazy, I had to figure out ways to incorporate that for myself. So one of the ideas that I posed in the past, if you are struggling with childcare, say for instance, you need to get out, maybe you want to go to the movies once a week or something like that, but you don't have anybody that really could care for the kids. If you are able to develop a relationship or a friendship, or you have somebody that's close to you, say your children have a class together and you develop a relationship, and of course you get to know each other, you may be able to do something. There's something that we did coming up is we would trade childcare services for childcare services. So what we would do was I had friends, and what we would do was one of us, it was like a group of 5 or 6 of us. And if we wanted to go out, hang out, just get some parent time, me time in, just away from the kids, a little bit of a breather, one of us would dedicate themselves, or 2 of us would dedicate ourselves, pick the place, and everyone would bring the kids there. We would watch the kids while the rest of the group of our friends will be able to go hang out. And then we would rotate that. So you can kind of do that. I was lucky I had a group that I was able to do that with. But if you just have one person, and you know you want to be with that person, and the other thing you can do is just try to figure out how you can do things with children together, and maybe how you can do things without children, But just having a space, me time, a break to just get your mind, body, and soul in line so that you can come back to your parenting journey refreshed. Right? Refreshed, that's the name of the game. So yeah. Hola, Kenga. How are you? Hi, Allison. How are you? Yeah. So you want to be refreshed as a parent. You want to be able to give your child the best but we're humans. We're not robots. We're not designed to be able to do everything all day. In fact, I was speaking to some women the other night about the I was going to say Wonder Woman. That tells you what decade I came up in. The Superwoman cape, right? So there was a time where I really believed in that. I was wholeheartedly into that. I was like, yes, I'm a mommy. I can go to school. I can work. And don't get me wrong. I'm an advocate for that. You are able to do all of those things. But you have to make sure the me time is in there, right? And you got to make sure that it's harmoniously balanced so that you're able to go to school, go to work, and do those things. But I was stuck on the Cape. I'll admit it. I was stuck on the Cape and I didn't have enough of me time. And what ended up happening was that I crashed. I crashed. I hit a wall. Everybody got on my nerves. The child got on my nerves and just things was chaos, your household and things of that nature. And just everything is just all over the place because you have to zone in and get back to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And in order to do that is you have to allow the time, some kind of break. And if you don't have any of those things, and I know this is very, very hard, but once you get into the habit of this, it's worth it. Wake up before the children do. Even if it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour, wake up before they come in, get yourself a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, and just breathe. Right? If you can't get out, if you can't get away, then you might have to try to develop some space at home, right? Or do it when the kids are asleep at night, or definitely when they go to school, if they're able to go to school. For my homeschoolers out there, I know it's a bit trickier because not only are you homeschooling your children, you are at home, but maybe there's a way where you can meet up with other homeschoolers and try to develop some type of me time or swapping out childcare time, if you will, if you can. So I just wanted to hop on and find out who's your biggest supporter, who's your biggest cheerleader, And the good thing about today's parent is that you can have not only an offline supportive circle, if you will, you can also have an online supportive circle. We connect here every week for parenting topics. I'm sure there's other folks that you follow or you read blogs or articles or things of that nature. And so one of the things that I have been working on and been developing is I'm developing an online membership site, if you will, and it's called the Parenting Lounge. And it is basically an oasis space for parents to come in. I will be your host. We will hang out daily, right? It's an area of safe space where it's non-judgmental. You can be yourself. Some of the topics that we talk about on here, I know are some topics that a lot of families like to talk about, but I don't get into them very deeply because it's very difficult on this platform to get into topics very deep. In there, we will be able to dive deep into topics that are near and dear to parenting's hearts. We will have daily inspiration posts going on in there. We will have activity posts in there that we can all engage on, questions that we would really dive into together. We'll be able to have cyber game night where we'll be face to face as members. And when I do parenting lives in there, we'll be able to be face to face instead of you just viewing me the way you are viewing me on this live. I will actually be able to send out a link to you, and every member in the group will be able to be face to face, and we will be able to have a full dialogue about the topic or whatever we're getting into at that time. And so if this is something that you think you may be interested in and you'd like more information on, this is going to start March 1st. My beta testers are going in there February 1st, and I've been creating content for it for the last couple months. So I'm really excited about it. It's an inclusive space where we can be all in one place. What I like about it is it's not on Facebook. So it's a platform called Mighty Networks. And on here is where I always say, wow, there's no noise on here, because I'm in a women's group on Mighty Networks. And I love that we're able to just dive deep into topics, have a conversation, see each other face to face for special events. And we're not dealing with all the noise from all the social media platforms or trolls or things of that nature. When you become a member, you know, there's like a code, there's a link there you have to get in. It's an entry key to get into the to get into the lounge. So yeah, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. I created a wait list. So if you're interested, if you look at the top here, you can click on there. There, your email will go there, and then I will be able to send you more information about it. So at this time, when the doors open March 1st, we're going to have an introductory rate of $9.99 for a 30-day period. So it would be $9.99 to join as a member. And then that's the introductory rate. Once you come into that introductory rate, that rate you are grandfathered in. So that's it. That will be all that you would have to do on your end, and just come in, enjoy, engage, hang out with like-minded families, and hang out with myself. And I'm very excited because here I'm just show up once a week, and there I'll be involved, you know, every day. So I'm really, really excited about the Parenting Lounge. And it's also a place for parents that are not able to get away. You know, when your children go to sleep or they're napping, you can plug into the Parenting Lounge, see who's in there, what's going on, what's new, and we can have a lot of nice, joyful conversations and engagement going on in there with like-minded families. So if this is something you're interested in, or you can send a link to somebody that you think would benefit from this, feel free to pass that around. I would appreciate it. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about that. Also, I wanted to talk about something really special that happened. So I heard about, so many of you know that I'm actually, can't believe it, but it's 10 months since my husband unexpectedly passed away. And so I'm in the middle of writing our love story. And so it was brought to my attention by my mom that a local newscasters here were looking for love stories for their Valentine's Day segment that's coming up next month. So I submitted our picture, Lorenzo and I submitted a little short synopsis of our story. You know, we've been together for 24 years, so I couldn't dare put everything there, but most of our love story and our soulmate walk will be in the book that I'm working on right now. And so I just got contacted over the weekend that they actually picked my story up. So they're going to feature my story for the Valentine's segment on Fox 8 News in Cleveland. So whenever that information comes out, they're supposed to be coming next week to record me and just look at some pictures and stuff that I have of us and just ask me questions about our relationship. And so I'm really excited about that because it's the first Valentine's Day without him. And I kept trying to figure out what I was going to do. So I'm really excited that I have something to look forward to, even though it's going to be challenging and hard. I'm glad that my story was picked up. Yes, so that's good. And then the other thing is, I think I mentioned on my last video, but my children's books will be done by May 1st. So yeah, by May 1st. So yeah, so just wanted to share those little news with you and stuff. And hey, Allison. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody watching. And yeah, come hang out with me in the Parenting Lounge. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fiesta. So if you're just now hopping on, I came in earlier with some new tunes, some new beats, if you will. My nephew made a couple of jingles for me for eNanny Link, so I'm calling it the eNanny Link Shuffle. So if you want to stand up, if you want to dance with me, I'm going to get ready to dance out of here. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for joining me today. Let me find this song. There it is. Yeah. Rainbow! Yeah, my nephew did real good with this jingle. Yes, I hope you're having a happy 2020. Have a great week. I will be back here next Sunday. I got to get a step to this. But right now, it's going to be salsa, baby. Hey. Thank you for joining my live, and I hope everybody have an amazing week. Muchas gracias. I like this jingle. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Ciao.